This is a really handy little pouch that is the right size to store a 45mm rotary cutter. You can make it bigger or smaller if you wish, and it's actually based on a design of a sunglasses case that I made a few years ago. So it's ever so easy. There's no hardware or anything on it. It fastens just by the flap, slipping underneath that tab at the front, and then your rotary cutter sits there on the inside. So it keeps it nice and safe. It keeps it protected, and particularly if you're going to be taking your rotary cutter to workshops, you know where it is in the bottom of your bag. And although that blade should be locked away, it does keep it nice and safe in this padded kind of environment. It's really easy and it's really quick to sew. So if you're making to sell, this is an ideal project. So I've already cut out my pieces. I'll leave all of the sizes that you need in the description box underneath the video. So those are 2 for the front pocket, those are 2 for the back, and that is the band that goes around the front. I've already fused craft fleece to the wrong side of the outer pieces. It doesn't matter what kind of padded interfacing that you use, so it could be a fusible, it could be an 80-20, or even felt could be used, but you do need something to make it nice and padded to help to protect your rotary cutter. Right, so I've also got my circle templates, and we're going to round off the corners. So first of all, I'm using non-directional fabric, which is handy because this is going to fold over and become the flap. So it helps if it's non-directional. If you do have a directional fabric, just make sure that I think when this comes over to the front, this needs to be the right way around. So I'm just going to take a 3-inch template and round off the corners. And I'll need to do that on both the outer and the lining pieces, so they're both the same. So same with this one. And like so. It doesn't have to be an exact 3-inch circle template. You just need something to draw around. It could be, you know, a saucer or something to make the corners round on that. That makes it easier to pop inside when it goes inside the band here. And this time, now on this one, I've kept the top of this straight. This time I'm going to curve it a little bit. So just to make it a little bit different. So let's take this time my 5-inch template, and I'm just going to draw a curved line here and another one on its coordinating lining, and cut those shapes out. So again, you could keep it straight like I did with the original one. You could make it curved. Doesn't really matter. So this might be a little bit different for you. All right. So the first thing to do, let's move those to one side, is to sew these curved sections right sides together. So just match up the edges. And I'm just using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And just carefully sew around the curve. You can pin that if you like. I find it easier with smaller projects like this not to pin them. And around here, I'm just going to make little V shapes. If you have pinking shears, then trim that with your pinking shears. This is just going to help the seam sit flatter without too much bulk on the inside. And I think that'll be fine. I'm going to take your ironing mat and fold this over so that the seam is sitting right on the edge. And we'll give that a press. I'm just going to snip the ends off there as they curl over. Now, if you wish, at this point, if you have some basting spray, I'm just going to spray this away from my cutting area, my sewing machine. And I'm just going to stick those two together. That's not the most important thing to do, but it does help to keep things nice and flat as we're sewing. And then I'm going to top stitch just around that top curve. And that'll help to keep the fabric pieces together, but it also looks quite nice when you do a little bit of top stitching. So that's how the pocket's looking. So the next thing I'm going to do is to bring the ironing mat back up and take my strap. So this is 4 1/4 inches by 4 inches. So I'm going to take the 4-inch sides to the center. And then in half again. And then we need to sew along each side. So depending on what fabric you're using, I've used the lining fabric for my strap, but you could use a piece of ribbon if you wish as well. I just thought it was nice to use a coordinating fabric like this. And then this is going to go across the front of my pocket, about 1.5 inches from the bottom of the curve. Now this measures 4 inches across, this is 4 1/4, so it's slightly wider, but that will allow a little bit of space to put the flap in without it being too tight. So measure and mark and pin that if you wish. I'm just going to sew right down the very edge within the seam allowance, so these stitches aren't going to be seen, just to hold that in place. So that's now my front pocket. So let's take the outer section and we're going to pop these two pieces right sides together. And I'll just put a couple of clips in there on the right hand side to hold that in place. And on the left hand side, we're just going to sew a few stitches along here. And this will be with your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So just a strip of about 3-4 inches will be fine. And then take your lining, and this is going to go right sides together over the top. And again, more clips to hold that in place. I'm going to put those in upside down. You'll see why in just a second. And a few more around here. You can pin if you prefer, but flicker fabrics like this is now, I think, tend to be a bit easier if you use clips instead of pins. Just make sure that all of those edges are lined up correctly. Clip that there, clip that there. And then I'm going to sew from this side so I can see the line of stitches that I've already sewn. So I'm going to go all the way around the edge and overlap that line of stitches. So I'm going to join up here, and that'll leave my turning gap. So this time I'll snip this quite close to the seam around the curve to reduce the bulk. Snip snip across the corners. And then turn the whole thing the right side out. Okay, so when you turn this through, it still looks as though it's inside out, but don't worry, everything's fine. And we're going to hand sew this, because if you sew this on the sewing machine, you would be sewing over the seam that creates the outside shape, so it would distort the shape of the actual pouch. So I'm going to just do a slip stitch on this one. Use a ladder stitch if you prefer, but this is on the inside, no one's going to see it, so we just need some neat little stitches, not going through all the way to the outside, but just to close the opening close. So don't go through to the front, we're just going to catch the fabric on the lining and just slightly into the wadding and just go all the way across to close that turning gap. Then let's turn the pocket through. So just keep pushing that out. I've got my knitting needle to hand to poke out the corners. Sometimes when you turn this through, you might find that the band is on the other side. Flip it over so it's on the right side. And then let's just push out the corners. And like so. And this one. I knee that back up again and give it a press. And then the final thing I'm going to do here is to just top stitch all the way around the top of that flap. And then that's my pouch finished, ready to have my rotary cutter going in there. Fold the flap over and feed it underneath the strap. And we're ready to go.